beautiful Saturday here in the Garden City of Beverly, Massachusetts. We're at Hurd Stadium for NEC matchup. The Lynn English Bulldogs are visiting the Beverly Panthers, both teams 1-0. Alex Saluco with Dominic Lorenzano. Thank you for watching BevCam. We really appreciate it. Now, Dom, you were there 2 weeks ago for week 1. Beverly and Winthrop. Beverly came away with that win.
Yes, they did.
Now, tell us more about that.
Well, you know, some of the struggles that you expect maybe in a first game. Beverly had some problems holding on to the football. They had 4 fumbles. They lost 3 of them, gave Winthrop some good field position at times. The defense really stepped up and was able to keep Winthrop off the board mostly, but you see some of the fumbles right there came from everyone. After a big fumble, though, they did get an explosive play on a 3rd and long when they threw one up to Duncan Moreland, who ended up going 80 yards for a touchdown, and that opened up the scoring a bit for the Panthers. But, you know, against this Lynn English offense today, you're going to have to keep that in check. You cannot give them these kind of opportunities. You can't give them extra chances. They're good enough on offense already.
Absolutely, and the defense showed up in that week 1 win. Only 133 yards allowed to Winthrop. Only that 1 touchdown. That's the first touchdown and only touchdown Beverly's let up in the regular season and the preseason. They won that game. Excuse me, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, as you see there also on your screen, Joel already showed up. You know, not the feature back you'd think Malumba was, but with Malumba down, he was able to step up, had a 62-yard run, I believe, and a 30-yard run. So Beverly was able to get some explosive plays as well. They're going to have to do that today to keep up with Lynn English.
Loretti definitely 7 carries, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns in that game. You set up Moreland with that 80-yard touchdown grab. Now, Beverly's got a tough test today with the Lynn English Bulldogs, 1-0. They won their matchup last week with Swampscott, 33-30. Let's take a look at that game. Now, English survived 3 special team touchdowns, 2 excuse me, Swampscott in that game. You've got to think they're not going to let up 3 special team touchdowns today.
No, and the fact that a team can do that and survive it just tells you how good that offense is.
That offense is really good, led by Matthias Fowler, 180 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, also adding 192 yards on the ground with 2 more scores. He's going to be somebody Beverly's going to have to contain. He's not the quarterback they faced week 1 in Winthrop.
Oh, absolutely, and it's going to, you brought that up against Winthrop. I saw Duncan Moore on the free safety coming down to help in run game a lot. He's not really going to be able to have to do that today. You're going to have to worry on the outside from Taj Pewter. He had 3 catches for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns, so they're not going to have that luxury with that extra guy in the box. Going to be a little bit more pressure on the D-line and the linebackers today.
Yeah, Herder definitely 2 touchdowns through the air, also had 1 on the ground for the Bulldogs. This offense for the Bulldogs put up 491 total yards of offense last week against Swampscott, 310 of them on the ground. Beverly, with their staunch defense, is going to have to put that to bed.
They absolutely are. And, you know, some of those, I'm going to guess some of those runs probably came on second reaction improvisational plays. It'd be really nice that on the design passes, if you can keep Fowler in the pocket, that's the best way to know where he is at all times and make him make plays within the rhythm and schedule of the offense. Once you get outside that, you ask those DBs to cover a little bit too long. That's where you get some of those big plays.
Absolutely. You just see Lynn English Bulldogs entering the field. Now, let's take a look at the matchup between Beverly and Lynn English from week 1 last year. Got a couple highlights rolling here. Beverly led this one 21-19 at the end of the first half after a big momentum push led by Bearer and Moreland, but it's the long touchdowns by Lynn English that really put Beverly to bed. Lynn English ended up winning that 38-21. In the second half of that game, Beverly was outgained 224-11. Lynn English ran 35 plays to Beverly's 15. 11 yards in the second half is not going to win you a game anywhere, Don.
No, absolutely not. And, you know, it's one of those things, once you let an offense like this get humming, it's so hard to come back from it. You get into that rhythm, and it just seems they just snowball on you. So you're going to have to make sure that doesn't happen. And the way you're going to do that, you're going to have to keep everything in front of you today. Make them earn these drives. See if they can go 5, 6 first downs and go all that time without, you know, having a false start or a big negative play. These things that happen on big drives.
We will pause for a moment as the ROTC presents the colors. VHS Band Director Adam Costa. Wonderful job there from the Marching Panther Band of Beverly High School. Going to be getting this one underway soon, but let's touch upon what you just saw on your screen real quick. Before that, the history of this matchup. Beverly's winning 10-5 in the history of the matchup, but Lynn English has won the last two.
So looking to change that today. And, you know, we talked about some of the offensive keys and defensive keys already, but the offensive keys for the Panthers is, I think, a big thing is staying on schedule. A lot of the times on first or second downs, some of the fumbles or just big losses on plays put you in those 3rd and longs. It doesn't matter what level you're at, NFL, college, high school. 3rd and long, not an easy down to convert. It'd be very nice for them to stay on schedule, keep those 3rd and short, keep the whole playbook open, and also keep that Lynn English offense on the sidelines.
Yep, I'm sure Coach Morency knows what happened last year. He remembers they were charging at the end of the first half. It was a game they were leading going into halftime, and then 11 total yards on 15 total plays in the second half. He said after that game that we showed we can play with anybody for a half. We just got to put it together for a full game. Got the captains out there for the coin toss for Beverly. It's going to be Braden Pratt, Duncan Moreland, and Chris Curran. Duncan Moreland in this game last year against Lynn English, we saw 6 grabs for 133 yards and 2 touchdowns. Only 1 catch in the season opener against Winthrop. They have to try to get him involved.
Yeah, they're going to have to. You brought it up, another big key. Got to find ways to get Duncan the ball. Whether it's passing, maybe you use him in the backfield. They did use him on a jet sweep, I do remember, in that Winthrop game here, about a 9-yard carry. So if it doesn't work right off the bat, let's see if we can see if Morency kind of sees some creative ways to try to get the ball in Duncan's hands, because you said 1 catch, but 80 yards. When you get the ball in his hands, special things can happen.
Exactly. Lynn English put up 395 total yards of offense last season against the Panthers, and that's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth. It was in your house, week 1, all jacked up about the season. Lynn English comes in here, gives you your first loss, and it was a rough season at home for the Panthers last year. 1-4 at home. Only win was against Salem.
Yeah, definitely looking at that corrected. And like I said, there was a lot of things in that last game that you do have to like to see. Their defense, despite what the field position was, really kept Winthrop in check all day. One thing I will say, though, is the only real success Winthrop had was on the quarterback run. And you know Lynn English is going to feature that today. I mean, Fowler had 17 carries for 190 yards in that last game. So that's going to be one thing they're going to have to keep an eye on. When you get that quarterback run sometimes, especially if it's designed, you get that extra blocker, it's going to make things a little bit more difficult.
Both teams ready to get this one underway. Beautiful day for football here, Dom. Beautiful.
Absolutely. I know it doesn't quite. Last game I did, it was like cold, wind. I was like, you know what? This feels like football weather. It doesn't really feel like football weather today.
No, it does not.
And then also another big thing, Malumba's back in this game. He was gone in that Winthrop game. Loretti showed up, had some big catches. Jay Sean was obviously the feature back in that game. So it'll be interesting to see how he mixes up the carries now. It looks like he's got 3 legitimate guys in the backfield.
Definitely a shot in the arm for this Panther team. Bet you Coach Morency feels comfortable handing off that ball to Malumba without him putting it on the dirt. Fumbles, big thing that caused Beverly last week. And on the other side, Lynn English, those special teams touchdowns. So both teams have to clean something up here, because that 33-30 score is not as close as it should be with those special teams touchdowns.
Joey Loretti on to kick for the Beverly.
All one player, too. Jack Palmer of Swampscott, 3 special teams touchdowns. 1 kick return, 1 punt return, and 1 fumble return on a special teams play. He got the hat trick.
Wow. That's a great way to start a season, isn't it?
It's Deion Sanders. Lynn English will receive the opening kickoff. Joe Loretti kicking for the Panthers. We're ready to christen Hurd Stadium one more time. The kick is off. It's caught around the 5-yard line. It's at the 20, trying to wiggle through space, gets all the way up to about the 27.
Mike Rhodes with the tackle.
Nice tackle there by Mike. Mike Rhodes. I thought he might get away there for a second, and it looked like he had some field open in front of him, but was able to drag him down.
English will start off first and 10.
It was Phoenix Figueroa Marquez, I believe, on that kick return. So here's where we see the matchup we're all waiting for. Matthias Fowler against this staunch Beverly defense. Four wide.
And I was going to say, immediately you've got a very different look than what you had in that Winthrop game. Four wide receivers out of the shotgun.
Fowler, handoff up the middle, brought down after minimal gain. That was Sam O'Furry.
He had 6 carries for 65 yards in that game against Swampscott. It's funny, the 2 running backs for Lynn English don't even combine for the amount of carries Fowler had in that game.
Player in motion again, 4 wide, trips to the right, O'Furry to the right of Fowler. Going to be rolling right behind the block of O'Furry. Fowler looking for space, gets some, he gets the first and a little bit more. Brought down at the 45.
By Duncan.
And there's a flag on the play. Coach Morency immediately signaling towards the Lynn English offense, and it will be holding. The spot foul, I believe they called it right around the original first down marker. It's probably going to be 2nd and 10 from the original spot. We're very much close to it.
You know, just 2 plays in, though, this is what I'm talking about. Why you need to eliminate these big plays and just make sure that they can earn it. When you got these 5, 6 first down kind of drives that you need to get, there's so many opportunities for this kind of stuff. Holdings, false starts, all that kind of stuff. And you get these 2nd and long, 3rd and longs, chances are pretty good you're not going to convert.
So it's 2nd and a long 9 for the Bulldogs. Saw them come out in the same formation in both plays. Now we're going to have trips left. O'Furry, a very big back to the right of Fowler.
Yeah, you got to think Fowler's kind of their speed back, even though he's the quarterback, and this is the big bruiser, but he's got plenty of room there.
And he'll get the first down a little bit more out to the 45. O'Furry already with 2 carries.
Carry for English, tackled by Mike Rhodes.
That's Mike Rhodes again on the tackle. So as you know, right now on these runs, they're getting very far down the line. The secondary is going to have to make these tackles. So
the last 2 plays have been read options out of the backfield. Now we come out in a 5 wide set along the right hash.
I feel like you're watching a Big 12 game a little bit right now.
I mean, quarterback does resemble Kyler Murray in his size.
He does.
Throw to the right after rolling right. It was incomplete. That was intended for Taj Purder. And 3 touchdowns last week, 2 through the air. We're going to get 2nd and 10 from the 46.
Brings up 2nd down and 10.
That was Duncan and Stanton Jones, by the way, over on Purder on the coverage.
First pass attempt from Fowler in this opening drive. Going to get another handoff. Stuffed after about a 3 or 4 yard gain. Again, that was O'Furry. So 3 times on that read option, they've given it to O'Furry. You got to think Fowler's going to keep it one of these times, keep this defense honest.
Yeah, you have to think so, but you know, it's whatever the look the defense gives you. When something tells me that right out the gate, Morency was telling them you got to key on Fowler. So if he keeps not getting the look, he might not do it. But
first 3rd down for Lynn English in this first drive. 3rd and 6. He's going to keep it.
Yep, there's the
Cuts up the middle, going to be stopped. It looks like before the line, but you got to think Lynn English is going to be ready to go for this.
Fowler on the carry, tackled by Merge Malumba.
That was Malumba on the tackle, and it is difficult to see from here. But
it will be 4th down and about a long 1 and a short 2.
No one else in the backfield. I mean, 3 guesses on who's keeping this.
And now we've got O'Furry to the right of Fowler.
Now they're going to bring O'Furry in, you're right.
they're calling an audible here. Beverly in that 4-4 defense. It's going to be a give and a first down.
Yeah.
That was Duncan Moreland in on that tackle, though. He popped him good right after he got that first down.
Fury on the carry.
Well, there's the big bruiser again, Samuel Fury. Just give it to him and let him pick up that short yardage that you need.
About a 3-yard gain on fourth down. And you talked about it. Beverly's got to minimize these drives already. A 3rd and 4th down conversion, or excuse me, a 4th down conversion for the Bulldogs. Going to be kept by Fowler. Rolling right, wide open. And a score-saving tackle made by the Beverly defensive back. We have a flag.
There is a flag down on the field.
That stays. That was Taj Purder. He got behind the defense. Beverly committing to that run.
That's what these dual quarterbacks do. And by the way, you saw that exact same look already at the beginning of the game. Just the second play they did, just that little pitch play out there. But instead that time they had the option for him to throw it. That's going to go against Lynn, though.
Block in the back against English.
Lynn English getting flagged for a block in the back.
So Beverly catches a break there, but you know, again, they've had to pick up 2, I think, already first downs on this drive. And you talk about so many chances for things to go wrong. This is the 2nd penalty already in this drive.
Yeah. It's going to be 1st and 20 for the Bulldogs.
But you know what? Now they've showed them that little wrinkle off a play they played earlier, and you learn your lesson. If your assignment is Pewter, you got to stay on him. You got to hope that the guys behind you got to trust that the linebackers, the line, those guys can get away to bring Fowler down, because you cannot break responsibility on coverage.
Absolutely, and you said at the beginning of the game, Purder's definitely showed he can get behind that defense. Tough task from the Beverly defensive backs here, especially Jay-Sean Stanton-Jones, who's been on him.
And a screen and a great tackle.
So Beverly making this 2nd and even longer.
That was DJ Brathwaite, I believe, that threw that screen too, and they were on it right away.
By Merge Malumba.
Malumba shot in right there to make that tackle.
That was a loss of 7 yards on the Malumba tackle.
It's going to be 2nd and 27.
2nd down and 27.
Five wide.
Yep, 2 deep safeties.
English on the left hash. Going to be another screen, this time to Purder. He's trying to get a block. Minimal gain. Beverly doing a great job of containing that on the outside.
Fowler complete to Purder. Tackle by Mike Rhodes and Duncan Moreland.
Moreland covers so much ground at the safety position. No wonder he's going to UNH to play.
I know, really, it doesn't matter where he is. He's just a playmaker everywhere.
Makes it 3rd and 22.
So this 3rd and long, you got to be worried maybe about a quarterback draw. Just got to be aware of it.
And it's going to be a handoff to O'Furry up the middle, tackled after a gain of about 4 or 5. And English in a 4th and very long situation. It looks like they're going to bring out the punt team.
Yep. So a good job there by the Panther defense to get that stop.
Great job by the Panther defense, and an even better job by the Lynn English offense committing those penalties, allowing Beverly to get in that situation. But they did make some plays after that.
They did. Some of those screens, you're trying to get your athletes isolated one-on-one, see if they can make guys miss, but Panthers were very consistent on their tackling.
Back for Beverly. Looks like they're going to field the punt, the 15-yard line. Trying to make a couple people miss, but he's brought down. Is Danny Morency. So Beverly will start their first drive with 6:10 left to go in the first from their own 17, 18-yard line, it looks like.
All right, so today we get this first look at the Panther offense that we were talking about. Talk about the fact they got 3 guys in the backfield right now that I think Morency's got to feel good about. With Jay Sean, Loretti having that big game, and obviously the big guy, Malumba's back.
Oh, yeah.
So if they can get that running game going early, you know, you work the play action off that, and you can get Duncan the touches that you need. You said against English before, play action played a very big role in the Panthers' offense.
Absolutely. Towards the end of that first half, I believe they completed 3 play action passes in a row. Actually, they're going to start their drive from their own 9. Morency under center. Quick throw, trying to get it to Moreland early in space. Makes someone miss. About a gain of 4 or 5.
Pass is complete to Duncan Moreland.
I like that, though, changing it up on a first down, going to the air. And just an easy way to ease Danny Morency into the game and Duncan into the game.
Makes it 2nd down and
Yeah, we saw Morency only 3 completions against Winthrop in week 1. He was 3 for 8 with 111 yards. Obviously, most of that coming on that 80-yard touchdown to Moreland. You see Moreland's lining up at the top of your screen. Morency under center, I formation. Malumba in the backfield, he'll take it, going right, running someone over, taking a few Lynn English defenders past the first down marker, all the way out to the 25, almost 26-yard line.
When you saw it right there, bruising through the line, running through 1 tackle, that's the factor they were kind of missing in that Winthrop game. Loretti and Jay Sean are explosive. They got that speed, but Malumba brings the power to the running back position. And that power run game's huge because you can eat some clock, you can keep the ball away from the Bulldogs.
I formation again, quick snap. Malumba trying to get it outside into space, trying to make someone miss. He'll be brought down behind the line. Going to be a loss of about 1 for Malumba.
That was the quarterback, by the way, who plays DB, Matthias Fowler, on the tackle.
Bring up 2nd down and 11.
You see that a lot in high school football. 2-way players, offense and defense and special teams. You saw Morency field that punt for the Panthers earlier in this quarter. Again, Moreland at the top of your screen, I formation. Excuse me, not I formation, a split back. Malumba and Jones. Gonna be play action. Rolling rights, Morency. I believe that was intended for Jones. Couldn't come away with the catch. It's gonna be 3rd down in a long 10.
They did that a lot on their pass attempts against Winthrop. You know, Morency, he returns punts, he does a lot of things. Clearly a very good athlete, so you get him rolling, get him out in space, give him a little bit of option. Maybe he can run it if there's nothing there, but couldn't connect with Jones on that.
3rd down for Beverly early in this contest. 4 wides, Malumba to the right of Morency. He's looking left, looking right now. He's going to keep it himself. Try to go for the first down. He's not going to get there. Tackled towards the out of bounds.
Danny Morency on the
It's going to be 4th down. That looks like 3.
Eight-yard carry by Morency is going to bring up 4th down and 3 for Beverly.
First 4th down, Beverly has faced. It looks like they're going to be going for this. Either that or they were going to be, no, they're not. The punt team is on the field, and I am none the wiser, Dom.
It was a little bit of an odd look, wasn't it? Coming out of the formation. Caused me to pause for a sec, too.
Punting. High punt, a lot of hang time. Fair catch called for at the 38-yard line of Lynn English. So Beverly able to get 1 first down on that possession before that punt. So after 1 possession each, score still tied at 0. 3:44 left to go in this first quarter. See if Lynn English can capitalize and not make the mistakes they made in that first drive. Beverly, though, 2 huge plays after that blocking the back penalty, 2 tackles for a loss. This Beverly defense has came to play. But we do remember what happened in the second half last year, so let's not get ahead of ourselves here, Dom. Trips left, 1 receiver to the bottom of your screen. O'Fury to the left. It's going to be a read option.
And there's the keeper, as you said, on that read option.
Fowler on the keeper, tackled by Jared Mitchell.
It's like about a 4-yard gain for Fowler. Fowler with 2 backs now with him. Luke Beverly has not seen so far. It's going to be a triple option, it looked like.
Yeah.
And Fowler is going to take it to the left. Gain of about another 4.
Fowler
Almost to the first down marker. It's going to be 3rd and short. And a Beverly player limping off the field. I believe that is number 9.
That's Owen Keeve.
Keeve, a receiver on this team as well. Also starting defensive back.
And I know he was coming into this game nursing a little bit of an ankle injury already. So it looks like he must have re-aggravated it. Let's hope it's nothing more than just a re-aggravation of what was already there.
So Fowler, a 5-yard gain on that triple option keeper. Going to be 3rd and 1.
Now here's a situation. If you're confident enough in your offense, you might actually not be trying to get 2 yards or something just to pick up the first down. You might take a shot here.
Absolutely. Beverly's going to be crowding that box, expecting the run. But we saw what happened when Herder got behind that Beverly defense. So we might be seeing something. It's going to be Fowler with the keeper. He gets the first down just past midfield, a gain of about 4 or 5. And you saw every Beverly defender was at the line there, crowding the box. They know it's coming, but at the same time, they have to be ready because the speed of this Lynn English team, the players on the outside that they have, can get behind them in a hurry.
We saw that Chris Carroll, the head coach of Lynn English, decided to keep it conservative there and just try and pick up the first down. But anytime you get in that opportunity again, you're going to have to be aware of it.
Going to be a give.
Yeah, big missed tackle there.
O'Fury the first down. Got to the second level, brought down by Malumba. So not after O'Fury grabs that first down, a gain of about 12.
This Lynn English line starting to lean on the Panthers a little bit with this run game.
16-yard carry. Good run, English, first down.
4 plays in this drive, 4 runs, 2 first downs. Going to be kept, and Fowler's brought down behind the line.
I'll tell you, on that play, they didn't care that there were 4 wide receivers, trip set, nothing. They brought the safeties right up on that. There was no one deep for the Panthers.
A couple of captains, Braden Pratt and Chris Curran, in on that tackle. Beverly in that first drive, their defense did a good job of bending and not breaking.
Yeah, and you know, that's going to be the name of the game, I think, against this one. I mean, not all teams are the same. Not all offenses are the same. This team is too good. You know they're going to get their yards, but got to keep them out of the end zone. Got to keep the explosive plays down.
It's going to be a pass down the middle of the field.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
That was intended for receiver DJ Brathwaite.
Dollar was intended for Brathwaite, defended on the play by Merge Malumba.
So we're going to be 3rd and 14.
Right, 3rd and 14. You know, you want to pin your ears back and go after the passer, but on the ends, you're going to have to be aware of this because of his athletic ability, you can't over-pursue. Because if you do, you leave a lot of field there. He can just pick it up with his legs. Keep him in the pocket, force him to make plays within the offense.
English 1 for 2 on third downs early on in this quarter. See what they do here. We know they're in 4-down territory just about every time they have the ball.
Looks like they got an extra eye on Pewter.
Quick pass to the right, batted down at the line. It's going to be incomplete. Not sure who got their hand up in there, but might have saved this drive. It's going to be 4th and 14.
Down by Billy Adams.
It's Billy Adams who got his big paws up there and batted that one down.
Billy Adams' big play there sets up a 4th and 14 for English.
Purder back deep to punt. It's going to be Moreland returning for the Panthers. Saw Morency field that first punt. This time it's Moreland. Purder punting towards the sideline. That's going to go out of bounds at about the 15, maybe 16-yard line. It's going to be marked at the 15 by the officials. That's where Beverly will start in similar field position as their first possession.
So with the first quarter nearly over, 15 seconds left, it's been a real good job by the Panther defense, especially on that last drive, despite the good field position the Bulldogs had to start.
In that first possession, Beverly gaining a first down, but only running 5 offensive plays, only able to get that that one first down.
At the very least here, you got to hope to pick up at least a couple of those and flip the field position a little bit.
And time of possession definitely in favor of Lynn English, but this game is early. Beverly doing a great job keeping them off the board, not making those mistakes. We'll see what they can do here in their second drive on their own 15. Jet motion. And we give to Malumba up the middle. It's going to be stopped after a short gain, maybe 3 yards. Some pushing and shoving after the whistle.
Malumba on the carry for Beverly.
That was Malumba getting into it with Samuel Furry. And that's the end of the first quarter. So at the end of one, we're scoreless here at Hurd Stadium. Beverly, after that 4-yard gain, will be facing about a 2nd and 6 in their own red zone. Now, we talked about it before. The Beverly defense done a great job. Do we think this offense can get something going in this second quarter?
I think they can, and I think the addition of Malumba is really good. I think that's a big helper. It allows you to lean on the Lynn English defense a little bit more power in the run game. I think they can get something going. But listen, with the field position what it is, it makes it hard. You're going to have to find a way to get some explosive plays going. And again, like I talked about, it's going to come off probably, like you said last game, off the play action. So let's keep feeding the rock. Maybe the Malumba, little Stanton Jones. Got to establish that run game. Then you should be able to see something open up from that.
Furry with 47 yards on the ground in that first quarter.
We got the double in the kickoff. We just missed it.
Was not expecting O'Fury to be as big as he is. He's a big boy.
He really is. Looks like he's as big as some of the defensive linemen. Gives you a real nice kind of thunder and lightning combination there for Lynn English.
Yeah, it's been O'Fury leading the charge with 47 yards for the Bulldogs. Fowler, he is getting his carries, but he's not beating Beverly the way that he beat Swampscott as much as he did for 4 total touchdowns last week.
And that speaks to the discipline of the Panthers and the coaching from Morency, because you talked about how they've been leaning on O'Fury. Many of those have been read options, but despite that, you're not seeing the ends crashing down and giving up that space.
Make sure he stays there, coach, when he comes off.
2nd and 7 for the Panthers.
4 wide receivers this time.
Morency looking right to Moreland. Contested. Moreland comes down with it. He's going, and he gets tripped up at the 30-yard line. Duncan Moreland is a man who can't be stopped, Dom.
Oh, no, he cannot. And, boy, it is nice to have a wide receiver like that. Doesn't really matter what the coverage is. If you have him in one-on-one, doesn't matter the position of the DB. Throw it up. He'll probably out-jump the guy, and you know he's physical enough to out-wrestle him for the ball, and that's just what he did there.
It's a 50-yard gain.
51-yard strike.
For Moreland. He's going to college to play safety, but God, if he wanted to play receiver, I think he could. Beverly in action now. Motion. It's going to be a give to Malumba. Behind his blockers, he'll push forward for a gain of a few. One-on-one coverage, it doesn't matter. Throw it up. Who cares?
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if it happened just because they went 4 wide, and that's not a normal look, but for the most part, what I've seen from the Lynn English defense is they've rolled one of the safeties over towards Duncan. They did not do that on that play.
You saw Laurenti get pressured in that. He didn't panic. He rolled right, kept his eyes downfield, and found Moreland for a strike. Quick screen, this one to Moreland, but he's going to be covered up quickly. So Moreland out with 3 grabs in this game.
Laurenti pass is complete to Duncan Moreland.
Yep, 10-20.
I believe that's about a 4-yard gain on that screen. It's going to be 3rd and short, I formation. Jones in motion. Give to Malumba. Trying to push forward to the first down. I think he got the first down with forward progress. We're going to call it a first down. About a 3-yard gain from Malumba.
Malumba carry is good for another Panthers first down.
Beverly, it's going to be their 6th play on this drive. Malumba with 3 carries, Moreland with 2 catches. I formation. Moreland top of your screen, Jones in the slot. Give to Malumba to the right side off the tackle.
Yep. It's going to be a steady diet of Malumba today.
Gain of about 4 for Malumba. Beverly threatening in the first possession of the second quarter. Chipping away, short runs. Seen a couple quick screens to Duncan so far in this game. Now coming out with 3 receivers in a split back formation.
Looks like Malumba and Jones in the backfield.
Gonna get a whistle. Gonna be a timeout. I believe.
Timeout, Lynn English.
Nope, timeout, Lynn English.
Yeah.
So 8:32 left to go in this second quarter. Beverly threatening on Lynn English 14. It's 2nd and 5. You were there for that week 1 game, and we saw Loretti, what he did, 7 carries over 120 yards. How huge is it for the Panthers to have Malumba back, as good as Loretti was in that game?
I think it's huge. And you know what? It's huge for Loretti and Stanton, too, because of their style of running. Because especially if you get 2 guys in the backfield like that, split backs, you keep pounding it up the middle with Malumba, and then you get Jones or you get Loretti on the outside. You've already worn down the guys on the end, and they're keen on Malumba a little bit, so it gives a little extra room for the big explosive runs. And that was a telltale mark of their running game against Winthrop, which, Loretti has a nice amount of yardage. Stanton has a good amount of yardage as well, but it wasn't consistent.
Yeah.
They broke some big runs, but Malumba gives you that consistency.
And it's always good to have a player like Loretti after what he did 2 weeks ago in your back pocket.
And I'm sure at some point you're going to see him probably off, maybe even some sort of wrinkle with Malumba if they put both of them back there. Could see him in motion too as well. If Malumba, if you have one back, bring Loretti in motion, get him on a sweep.
2nd and 5. Jones and Malumba in the backfield. Rhodes in the slot. Malumba gets the carry, cuts it up. He's going to get the first down and a little bit more inside the 10-yard line up to about the 7.
Good to have the bell cow back.
Malumba carry is good for another Beverly first down.
See, Loretti just checked into the game.
7-yard carry. Malumba is going to set up 1st and goal from the 7-yard line for Beverly.
Split back, Loretti and Malumba.
Running the ball very well, but things are going to get even more condensed down here. A little extra guys on the box.
Rhodes in motion. Yeah. Handoff to Malumba. Fake pass after the handoff. Malumba pushing forward. Gain of about 2, maybe 3 with forward progress. Looks like a gain of 2.
By the way, you know, as I said, you get a little closer, a little more guys in the box. Beverly countered that by bringing Rhodes in motion and putting him in the backfield, give him a little extra blocker back there in front of Malumba.
Malumba.
Going to bring up 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line.
6 carries in this drive alone. Just about 30 yards in the ground for him total in this drive. It's going to be play action. They have Moreland open in the back of the end zone, and it's picked off. Picked off. It looked like that was Fowler. It was. In the red zone, and it looks like this is going to be on a hit to the head or leading with the head. Whoever made the tackle on that play, I wasn't sure, but
I think it might have been Duncan, actually. Who
it was not Duncan. I believe it was.
I couldn't see.
Mike Rhodes, the slot receiver.
That was Rhodes.
That's what it looked like. And based on what the officials are doing with the ball, it's probably what it was. So Beverly doing a great job moving it down the field, chunk gains here and there, running the ball, going for play action in the red zone, very dangerous. I know you have Moreland, but you've got to be wary of the defensive back on the other side.
Yeah, I think it's a situation where, as a quarterback, you're like, oh, we've run the ball so well. You know, you feel like it's going to be there, it's going to be there, it's going to be there. You roll out, you see Duncan get away from his man, but I think he just overlooked the guy maybe in zone right in front of him.
Morency had him just, if he threw it a split second earlier, is the window that he had. Deep pass to the right, Fowler looking for Purder.
I like the idea. I like the idea there by Carroll, by the way, after a turnover. See if you can get them on their heels, take a shot right away.
Yeah, Chris Carroll in his 5th season coaching the Bulldogs, 26-19 overall record. Beating these Panthers last 2 years.
Well, at least you've flipped the field position a little bit. The Panther defense has already come up huge on a couple of drives. Let's see if they can do it again.
And if you're a Beverly fan, you like a low-scoring game. If this was going to have to be a game, a barn burner, that definitely favors the skill set of Lynn English. You want to keep this low scoring. 7:02 left to go in the first half. 2nd and 10 from the Bulldogs 35. He's going to keep it. Almost brought down. He evades the tackle, but he'll be brought down eventually behind the line. A loss of about 4, maybe 5. He got away from Loretti, it looked like, in the backfield originally. We're going to have a flag on the play as well. My guess would be holding or a block in the back based on how that play ended up with a rollout.
That whenever you miss a tackle in the backfield on Fowler and he gets out to the outside, you hold your breath a little bit, but a great job by the Panthers swarming to the ball there.
It is going to be a holding penalty. The 3rd penalty on the Bulldogs in this first half. 2nd holding penalty, and Beverly's going to decline it. Take that extra down, make it 3rd and long, 3rd and about 15. So this Beverly defense coming up big again, another 3rd down.
running. 6:35.
I will tell you also, in the passing game, they've done a pretty good job of eliminating Pewter. He really only had that screen, and that was it. Other than that, a lot of the targets have been to Brathwaite.
So I have to do the BevCam.
Third down pass, deep left, incomplete. That was intended for Jesse O'Fury, the freshman.
Follow pass is intended for Jesse O'Fury.
In coverage was number 4.
Mike Burgess on the
Yeah, I
pass
was going to
coverage
say
for
Mike
the
Burgess
Panthers.
on the coverage there, stayed right with him the whole time. That was a great job. He had
Beverly
no
defense doing a great job on third down, holding Lynn English 1
Bring up
for
4th
4
and 15
on
for
third
English.
downs.
Morency back to receive the punt for Beverly.
So quick possession for Lynn English. Beverly's going to get the ball right back. We're going to have a timeout called by Beverly, I believe.
Beverly takes its first time out of the half.
Still scoreless here, 6:16 left to go in the first half. Both teams putting together pretty good drives, but both defenses coming up with big plays when it matters.
You know, something to think about there. They win. You talked about the name of the wide receiver. It wasn't Brathwaite and it wasn't Pewter. I think they were going after the backup defensive back for the Panthers who came in on Owen's injury, and that's a great job right there by him.
Okay.
But something to watch right there. If Owen stays out, will they continue to go after him?
Beverly back to return this. Hurd punting for the Bulldogs. It's Morency, about at his own 30. Turns around, cuts up, makes someone miss, breaks the tackle, gets dropped around the 38-yard line. That's where Beverly will start. Fairly good field position for the Panthers. First time they've even sniffed the 50-yard mark to start a drive.
And as you talked about right there, the field position, that's one big win that they have gained in this quarter and on that drive. Even though they didn't come up with any points, they're at least winning the field position battle right now in this quarter. So even if Lynn English does get the ball back, you have to think it might be in bad field position and maybe not enough time to put points on the board. But right now, you know the Panther offense after that last drive left a bad taste in their mouth. They're thinking about points.
Rhodes in motion. You give to Malumba up the middle, makes a couple people miss. On the first down, he's in the second level, 40-yard line, the 35, 30. Knocks another man miss, down to the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Malumba. And Beverly's on the board from a 63-yard touchdown run from Marge Malumba in his first week back. He's almost at the 100-yard mark so far in the first half alone.
Boy, it is good having the bell cow back. Over and over again. You talked about it last time. What was it, about 6 carries on that last drive alone? Keep hitting that defense in the mouth. Keep hitting them in the mouth. And it opens up big plays, and Malumba busted through right there. Let's talk about big plays all day, especially with the English offense, but it's Beverly who does it first for points.
Malumba doing a great job. He got to the second level, made 2 men miss on that, and he had to make a third guy miss, and he was sniffing his dust. Loretti will be in to attempt the extra point. He was perfect against Winthrop, 3 for 3.
Joey Loretti on to attempt the extra point.
Kick is up, and it's good. 7-0 lead for the Panthers with 5:50 left to go in the first half. 63-yard touchdown run from Malumba, and it was huge right before that for Beverly to get the ball. They forced Lynn English into their first 3 and out today. Yep. Great job by that Beverly defense to get off the field as quickly as they could, get the ball back to their offense, who was hungry for a score after giving it away in the red zone the possession before.
You got to think that you just feel a sigh of relief. The defense, offense, everyone, even the crowd here after that mistake there you're able to come back right away, bang, there's 7 points. And the defense has done such a great job of keeping the English offense in check. It's great to see the offense get something together there for them. Because that was a critical drive for the Panthers when English got the ball back.
Malumba with 84 yards in this quarter alone. He's at 93 for the game with a touchdown.
Yeah, and with all the time of possession probably in this quarter on Beverly's side, that's just wearing down the Lynn English defense even more.
Beverly defense will look to do it again. Last time out, they held Lynn English to a 3-and-out, first of the game. It's going to be picked up by O'Fury at about the 20-yard line. He makes a man miss, stays on his feet, pushes forward to about the 32-yard line. You see Owen Keeve yet to return to this game as well.
So Mike Burgess, his replacement, number 4 out there.
He had good coverage. It's going to be a give to the right. Gain of nothing. Stop before he hit the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's going to be 2nd and 9.
Not that Lynn English hasn't found their success at times with O'Fury running the football, but I will say right now on both sides of the ball, Beverly seems to be winning up front right now.
It's going to be another give to O'Fury.
And by the way, drastic different looks for the Lynn English offense. They were going 3-4 wide. Now they're in tight. I don't know if that's a reaction to the fact that they're not getting enough push from their offensive line trying to run the football. They're trying to get some extra blockers.
Going to be 3rd and 5 for the Bulldogs.
Mike Rhodes on the tackle for Beverly.
All right, tight formation again.
It's going to be a give, but we have a whistle up front. Going to be offsides on the defense, it looks like. Five-yard penalty stays 3rd down, so it's going to be 3rd and 1 instead of 3rd and short 6. Actually, they're going to give them the first down. So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Beverly gives them a cheap first down there. Let's see if they can.
Actually, no, it's going to be, nope. Just confusion with the chain game.
Let's see. Yep, they're gonna continue. I feel like I'm watching Winthrop again.
In tight again, something they've done, and they're going to break out for a pass.
Oh, there is nothing there though.
And it looked like they were targeting Burgess again. Either that or they were looking for Purder, but Burgess has seen 2 passes come his way since entering the game not too long ago.
Mike Rhodes with the pressure for Beverly. Mike Burgess with the pass defense for the Panthers.
And by the way, yeah, you're right. They were looking for Pewter there. That's a great job by Burgess, because that's a great play call. You're going to get Pewter on the backup DB. You think that's the matchup they want. But Burgess able to make sure nothing comes of it.
2nd and 10 again, in tight. More motion, Purder, and it's going to be...
I think this one's against English.
Could be that. Player was not set. Going to be a false start. Going to redo 2nd down. Going to be 2nd and 15. Another penalty committed by English.
Yeah, and this is what we talked about in the open. Make them show you that they can put these long drives together and not shoot themselves in the foot, have these penalties. It's tough to do. There's so many things that can go wrong when you have these, 8, 9 play drives.
And tied again, the only look we've seen from the Bulldogs so far. Another give, another short gain. Not sure who got that carry. Like it was Anthony Timmons, junior halfback.
He had a couple of carries in the Swampscott game. I believe that's the first time we've really called his name today, though. It's been a steady diet of O'Fury and Fowler.
Going to be 3rd and 12 after the 3-yard game from Timmons, and we're back in a 4 wide in this 3rd and 12 situation with the O'Fury to the left of Fowler. Player in motion, trips right. Fowler looking left. He's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. And it was none other than number 53, Chris Curran, the senior captain, forces a 4th and long. And this Beverly defense came to play today.
Timeout in the first half.
Yeah. It's been a great job by head coach Andrew Morency. I mean, he really has this defense ready to play. We knew this was going to be a tough assignment after all the points that they put up on Swampscott, and Beverly right now has controlled the line of scrimmage for the most part and shut them down.
Yeah, on that last play, I'm not sure who the receiver or the defensive back were on our side of the field, but it looked like a double move was in order, and it worked, but the receiver did not break.
I was about to talk about that because you talked about what happened to Fowler in the backfield. I didn't watch any of it because what caught my eye was exactly what you're talking about right there. Burgess lined up on Jesse O'Fury, and you're talking about that double move, and it did work.
For some reason, O'Fury, he stopped, but he did not go. Going to be another punt coming from Purder. Malumba back deep this time. Beverly with enough time to put another drive together. 3:06 left in the first half. Rough snap. Got by Purder, though, and Malumba gets it at the 20-yard line. He's got some blockers, some room to run. He's on the far side. He cuts it back up middle. The 40, the 30, the 20. Malumba in again. His second touchdown in this second quarter. Beverly up 13-zip at home against the Bulldogs.
Well, back-to-back plays from Malumba. He shows you he's not just a power guy. He shows the speed as well. And it's been the defensive show and the Mars Malumba show here.
Malumba takes that one 80 yards for the score.
I don't think he was really even touched.
Didn't even look like he was trying, honestly, the way he runs. Got a couple blocks, went up the sideline, cut it back.
Now you talk about setup. I really don't believe anyone really got a hand on him at all.
You know, the special teams coach for English is yelling at their guys right now. Nobody stayed in their lanes. They did not.
And that was a problem, by the way, against Swampscott. That makes 4 special teams touchdowns they've given up now in the first 2 games. So that seems to be kind of the Achilles heel right now for Lynn English.
I believe the Bulldogs had 12 men on the field. So it's just going to be a shorter extra point attempt for Loretti, who's 4 for 4 on the season. This one tipped at the line, but it gets through.
The kick is good.
That was tipped, right?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Okay. So Beverly up 14-0, 14 unanswered points, obviously, in this second quarter. Malumba with 2 big plays. You just saw that 80-yard punt return touchdown, and then he had a 63-yard touchdown run the play previously when Beverly was on offense. So last 2 times Beverly's touched the ball, they've been scores.
Yeah, it's nice to see you. I mean, the scoring came on explosive plays against Winthrop and coming on explosive plays today. 2:47 to go and a little bit of time, plenty of time for English, but got to think this kind of a bit of a big possession. You like to get some sort of points here if you're the Bulldogs before halftime.
We'll see if they come out in that tight formation again. We saw the only play they didn't in that last possession was in that 3rd and long scenario.
Ready on to kick off for Beverly.
Although I would expect maybe at the beginning of the drive you do, but with 2:47, you're going to have to throw the ball, you would think, a little bit more. We might not see the tight formation again as much.
Already kicking off. Caught at the 20 by the Bulldogs, up the middle. Making a couple man miss before seemingly the whole Beverly defense converges on them. But a good return up to the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. So pretty good field position here for the Bulldogs to try to cut this lead down before half.
Grant Easton with the tackle for Beverly.
2:39, you know, the defense has played well. But the statement has got to be the same, you know, keep everything in front of you, no big plays. That can change a little bit of the narrative, actually, of this game if the defense has a breakdown and gives up a big play.
Going to be 1st and 10 from the
So you got to stay focused.
38-yard line.
Right away, back in the spread.
Taking it towards the right behind O'Fury as a blocker. He gets the corner, he gets a 1st down before he wiggles out of bounds past midfield to the Beverly 43.
Seems like one of the first big runs Fowler really has been able to pop tonight.
It was a 17-yard run for Fowler to the Beverly 45, trips left, O'Fury to the right. It's going to be up the middle, O'Fury, he'll get a 1st down. So 2 1st downs in 2 consecutive plays for English to start off this possession. Brings it down all the way to the 30. That's about a 15-yard run for O'Fury.
Bulldogs show they're not going away.
Norland and Billy Adams. 15-yard carry, makes it 1st down.
Trips left, English hurrying, 2:05 left to go in the 1st half. Rolling left. Gets a couple blockers, finds some running room. And he's close to another 1st down. It's going to be 2nd and short, it looks like. So English moving the ball here in this possession. It's going to be 2nd and short.
I noticed on that last play just how far off the DBs were playing against Lynn English. They're up a little bit closer this time, though.
Fowler just going right behind his back as a lead blocker. He'll push forward for a 1st down, gain at 2.
Xavier Copeland with the tackle for Beverly.
26 yards rushing for Fowler in this possession alone. You had O'Fury had a 15-yard run as well.
But clock ticking down.
Minutes ago in the 1st
It's
half.
getting close to time where they're going to have to start just throwing the ball.
Trips right,
Couple
Fowler.
more runs.
Give to O'Fury. Pushing forward, dragging a couple Beverly defenders with him. I believe that was Curran.
By Chris Curran.
In on the tackle, it was.
That brings them all the way to about the 10, it looks like.
This English line is getting a lot of push in this Beverly front. They're having a hard time substituting players here and here. It's going to be a little bit gassed at the end of this 1st half. We're going to get a timeout from the Panthers. So 2nd and 1 on Beverly's 11. 43 seconds left to go in this 1st half. English threatening. They've done a great job. 5 plays on this drive, 5 runs. Chunks of 15, 9, another yard, or another gain of 15, another gain for 9. So
maybe a little bit of fatigue setting in for the Panther defense. I mean, Lynn English in the 1st quarter controlled the time of possession. 2nd, not as much, but back-to-back big plays from the Panthers for their scores does make the defense be on the field a little bit more at the end.
52 yards rushing on 5 plays combined by Fowler and O'Fury
and maybe
in this short possession.
And maybe the change of looks, you know, you go that tight formation pretty much the entire drive before, then back to the spread, might have helped a little bit for English. I mean, it looked like there was a lot more running room on that spread than we had seen all day. A little bit hyper-focused on the pass. Maybe out there was the Panther defense with a different look again.
43 seconds, 2nd and 1.
No, yeah, I don't know. Yes. Okay, we're good now. We're good now.
Trips right. Fowler rolling right. Behind the blocker. Trying to get the corner pushed out of bounds. Great play.
Looked like Malumba there. Fowler trying to get that corner.
Knocked out of bounds by Merge Malumba.
Malumba.
In the backfield wasn't O'Fury that play. That was Phoenix Figueroa Marquez. So I'm not sure.
Carey makes it 1st and goal.
O'Fury was lined up on that play, but he was not there.
Why isn't the clock running? Get out of bounds? So here's the thing, expected shot, right?
So a couple of yards. Lynn English continuing to run the football. Now the tight formation.
You're going to roll left. It's Fowler keeping it behind some blockers, trying to cut it up. He gets swallowed.
That's going to be a loss, I think. Not by much, but
Making that tackle, number 63, looked like.
boy, those carries to the outside. They've done it a lot on this drive, and Beverly getting a little smarter to it now on the last two.
Going to be a flag on the play, too. That tackle's made by Oliver Pavia. Did a great job fighting through some blocks.
Looks like a chop block. And a chop block to go against the Bulldogs. And that is huge.
The Bulldogs.
Now with 32 seconds left, that's going to take them way back.
So 32 seconds, like you just said, it's going to be
And these penalties,
goal to go, yeah.
they're keeping points off the board for the Bulldogs. You forgot that first quarter. Remember on that big play, they rolled Fowler out, fake run. Pewter got behind him, and he had to throw for the touchdown, but that had to come back as well. And now in prime field position to score, they're going to have another huge penalty that's going to take them back.
It looked like it was a 1-yard gain on the run. They're going to be brought back all the way to the 19, it looks like.
Right. 32 seconds left, all the way at the 19. Probably going to see some jump balls here. Got to be aware that as DBs, be smart. Don't worry about the pick. Let's just make sure they can't make the play. Let's knock it down. That's something Winthrop did in that big play against Duncan. I believe the DB looked like he was trying to go for the pick instead of just make the play.
Yep. 32 seconds.
And they've gone after Burgess a few times with starter Owen Keeve out of the game. Let's see if they try to go that way again.
It's 1st and goal from the 18. So English, 4 plays to get it in the end zone. Theo Fury back in the game. To the right of Fowler.
Burgess on Jesse O'Fury.
4 wide set. That's a matchup definitely to look at the bottom of your screen.
Low snap.
Looking for O'Fury, and we were right. He went to him, attacking Burgess. This time Burgess could not hold his own. Tried to punch it away after the fact. That's going to be 6 for Fowler and O'Fury, and that's something we were talking about the previous possessions.
Yep. They've gone that way a couple of times. Mike has stood up pretty well, but that time Jesse O'Fury came off the line real good. Was able to get the inside leverage on that slant route.
They were going to make the play, they just made it. Come back to the haymaker.
Jesse O'Fury,
I know.
the freshman.
Honestly,
You know what? I cannot say I'm surprised. There is not a single part of me that thought Lynn English was going to go down easy in this game.
Their first points in the board come with 20 seconds left to go in the first half. I'm sure Beverly will take that. And the PAT is good.
The kick is good.
14-7 now. 26 seconds left in the first half.
Well, you know what?
Beverly will get the ball back
Yeah. You know what?
to start the second half.
No matter how things are going, no matter how things might be misfiring, good teams find ways to make plays when they need to. And that's just what the Bulldogs did.
They were targeting the D-back Burgess entering the game, replacing
Owen O'Keefe.
Owen Keefe.
Yep.
He didn't make a completion while targeting Burgess until that one, but it was a big one. 18-yard score from Fowler to O'Fury. It's Fowler's third passing touchdown this season. English did a good job moving the ball in that drive. Definitely something that they would like to build on in the second half. I don't think an onside kick is out of the realm of possibilities here. And I was right. And more of a squib onside hybrid, but jumping on it was Loretti. Start this possession at their own 39.
Now, you got Duncan. He can make plays. Do you think they're just going to play it safe, though? You think in play till halftime?
I don't think you can. I think Lynn English has that momentum right now. They just drove down the field, and yes, they had a stupid penalty in your red zone, but they converted an 18-yard touchdown pass. I think with the way that this Lynn English offense is, you can't expect to hold them the way you have this whole game. You're going to need some points to win. I would like to see Beverly try something here deep.
And, I mean, they got 4 wide receivers, bunch set.
Screen pass to Moreland, so they're going to play it safe to start. Pushed out of bounds, gain of about 1.
Potentially, I mean, although you could think maybe let's take just a tiny bit more off the clock before we then take that shot. Just in case, maybe if you have something super disastrous happen, like, you know, a bad snap, they still don't have enough time to make anything of it.
Brings up second down and 8.
2-yard gain for Moreland there, 3 to the left. Going to be play action. And we're going to get a whistle, a flag. It's going to be a false start.
Yeah.
Shev's just walking around over there, dude.
Entering the game after that penalty, going to be Joseph Kudwicki.
Penalty will make it second down and 13. 17 seconds left in the half.
Beverly on their own 36. 3 wide to the left, Malumba in the backfield. And we're going to see Morency drop back, roll right, drop it to Kutwicki. He's got some room, makes someone miss, up past midfield, up to the 46-45 line of the Bulldogs. 6 seconds left on the clock.
He did not get out of bounds, though, so they'll burn the timeout.
Complete to Kutwicki.
And it's going to be a spike by Morency. 4
Ball
seconds
spiked by
left.
Morency. 4 seconds remaining.
And we're going to see a shot at the end zone here. And
You got to
I think we know who it's going to go to.
Yeah. Who do you trust to out-jump everybody there?
Morency to Kutwicki.
Kutwicki's catch was good for 18 yards. His first of the season.
I like the design of that. You had plenty of guys going deep, but make sure Danny has a safety option down low in case things go wrong, and they did.
And he didn't panic, too.
No, he
right
did
on the
not.
screws for that pass. He's done well under pressure so far today. He's looking left.
Yeah, see if they can catch
Rolling
lightning
left.
in a
He's
bottle.
going to keep it himself. He'll probably just try to get out of bounds or get down. He gets past the 40-yard line for a gain of about 6, and that does it for the first half. It was a lot of Marge Malumba in that first half, Tom.
Yeah, it was a steady diet of Marge Malumba. The Bulldogs defense saw a lot of him, more than they would like.
93 yards on the ground for Malumba in that first half. Of course, he had that huge touchdown run of 63 yards, but Beverly up 7-0. Then you had that 80-yard punt return to put them up 14-0. Next possession for Lynn English. They put some groundwork together. A couple 15-yard runs from Fowler and O'Fury. Dinkin and Duncan down the field with the run game.
Yep.
A penalty that pushed them back towards the 18-yard line, but we saw Fowler find Jesse O'Fury, again targeting Burgess after entering the game. It's 14-7 here at Hurd Stadium. Your quick initial thoughts in that first half and what Beverly needs to do in the second half to keep this lead.
Well, I think for the most part, I think Beverly kind of played a pretty good game. You knew they weren't going to keep them off the board. They're just too good offensively, but they've done everything they needed to do. They've limited the explosive plays. There hasn't been much. When we talk about big plays, we were talking about the Bulldogs offense, but it's been Beverly who's created the big plays, and we've seen the Bulldogs have a lot of penalties on their drives that's really killed them offensively. Keep it that way. Keep everything in front of you and continue to force them to show that they can be disciplined enough to have 5, 6 first down drives. And on the other end, I think it's simple. You keep pounding the ball away with Malumba. And even though their score came on one big run, you have to feel good about the Panther offense because, remember, they got themselves on a nice, complete drive all the way down to the red zone before the mistake on the interception. So right now, got to feel good for the Panthers.
You've got to remember, and I'm sure Coach Morency and that Beverly team does, last year's game, what happened in the second half against Lynn English. 15 total plays for the Panthers, 11 total yards in that second half. They need to correct that. They need to be the one to make adjustments, not the Bulldogs, and I hope we see that in the second half. We'll be back here at Hurd Stadium momentarily after a few words.
Directing the color guard in her 5th year is BHS alum Steph Hirschfeld. The drumline instructors are Mark Jalbert and 2006 BHS grad Peter Cohen. Serving as the band's drill.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Listen.
All it took was someone who would insist that I just try.
Suddenly, everything was turned around because they judge you.
You tell them, I don't need this.
No one is going to understand.
Unless they've been through it, how can they?
Then one day you realize
You feel so hopeless.
I need help. I need help.
You feel so hopeless.
Then one day you realize
Unless they've been through it, how can they understand?
I don't need this.
No one's going to judge you.
suddenly everything was turned around because they insist that I just try.
All it took was someone who would just...
Listen.
The band would like to perform a somber and emotional arrangement of a song that speaks to so many 90s music tropes and also chaotic life as a teenager, a time punctuated by periods of self-doubt, uncertainty, isolation, and soul-searching. Here now is Radiohead's 1993 anthem, Creep.
That song
Ladies and gentlemen, the BHS Marching Panther Band. This concludes today's performance. The band looks forward to playing for you again next Saturday, September 28th, right here at Hurd Stadium, where we'll feature even more new music from our new alternative album. Thank you for all of your support of music education in Beverly's public schools, and enjoy the second half of the game.
Robert, what phone you called me from? What was the number that I called you on? Robert, 303 left. Me? Yo, let's see what my gun is. I'm at 76. Where's the receiver? Beverly Panthers on their side. No, it's me. Wait, never mind, never mind. Do you have your charger?
All right, we're going to announce the winning 50-50 ticket. It is a red ticket, number 534-4840. Again, red ticket 534-4840.
Just about a couple minutes away from the second half kickoff at Hurd Stadium. Alex Lugo with Dom Lorenzano. Beverly leading 14-7. And it was a lot of Marge Malumba in that first half.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you had it down at 93 yards on the ground. He had a couple of big runs. He had the big touchdown run, and then he had the special teams one. What was it, about 80 yards?
80 yards.
Yeah, 80 yards on the special teams. Something that's kind of becoming a little bit of a trend right now for the Bulldogs. As you've mentioned, they gave up 3 special teams touchdowns to Swampscott last game, and now they've given up another one here today. But Yeah, it's been a steady diet at Malumba, something they missed against Winthrop, and that's been really well. You're going to wear down the Bulldogs' defense, and you keep the ball away from their offense. And it gives you the ability to work off that play action. They got a big throw to Duncan already in this game.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see some adjustments being made by Chris Carroll and his coaching staff. We remember last season, Beverly was leading 21-19 at the end of the first half. Didn't score in the second half.
Nope.
It was all Lynn English in that second half. They ended up coming away with it 38-21. We said it before, Lynn English 35 plays in the second half. Beverly's only 15. Lynn English 224 yards in that second half, and Beverly only 11 total offensive yards in that second half. Beverly's going to have to also make adjustments. Yes, you're up 14-7, but you were leading in that game last year after the first half.
Yeah, I'm sure that was part of Coach Morency's message to them. You got to play a complete game. Doesn't really matter as much what you did in the first half. Got to go out with a mentality that, you know, it's still 0-0 when you got to finish it off. And they have played really well on defense, very disciplined. They've kept things in front of them. They've kept the Bulldogs from making explosive plays, which what they killed Swampscott with in their last game. And you knew the Bulldogs were going to score. They scored really right before half, and they did it going after the backup DB, Mike Burgess, who had to take over after Owen hobbled off with what appeared to be an ankle injury. And that's going to be something to watch. You talk about adjustments. Maybe they've realized that they're targeting Burgess. Maybe you'll see him roll some coverage over there to get him a little bit of help.
Yeah, and that Beverly defense, like you said, did such a great job in that first half, holding O'Furry unofficially to 8 carries, 53 yards. Fowler to 42 yards on 10 carries. And yes, he had that touchdown pass late in the first half, but overall he's 3 for 8 through the air, only 16 yards in that one touchdown. So Beverly's defense doing a great job, where Malumba's doing a great job on the ground. 93 yards rushing, and Moreland 3 grabs for 58 in a touchdown. Pretty much on pace to do what he did last year against Lynn English, where he ended up with 6, 133, and 2 touchdowns.
Yep. You're going to have to continue powering the ball with Malumba. I'd like to see them find a way to get the ball in Duncan's hands a little bit more. They had the one big throw, and then they've done a couple of screens. Let's see if we see some play action off Malumba, maybe some rollouts from Danny. They seem to like to do that, and he can run, so that'll be something to keep an eye on. And they really had English searching sometimes for answers on offense. I mean, we saw them for, I don't know, 3, 4 possessions do their normal 4 wide set spread, looked like a Big 12 offense, and then they had a set where they completely changed it up. They went in tight, kind of the look that Beverly had against Winthrop. So that makes you know that Lynn English was very, very stifled on offense. They were trying to find anything to get going. But, you know, obviously they were able to come up with some points, but started that drive with about 2:47, I believe, in the second quarter. And they will march down the field, mostly on the run from the shotgun formation. A lot of Fowler.
Beverly will have the ball to start this second half. It's going to be Malumba back deep, along with Jay Sean, Stanton Jones, and Duncan Moreland.
Beverly will receive the kick to start the second half. Malumba and Moreland back deep for Beverly.
Momentum seems to be carrying with Lynn English, even though Beverly has the ball here. If you don't score and you go 3 and out, you give Lynn English good field position. This turns into a tie ball game fairly quickly. It's important for Beverly, if they don't score, at least pin back Lynn English on their own side of the field. And they're going to get a squib kick, taking it about the 40 up into about the 45-yard line.
They've seen enough of Malumba, I think.
Yeah. And I think they've seen enough of their own special teams blunders. They don't want to give their special teams a chance to make a mistake. I think that says a lot.
But I don't know if it was executed quite the way Coach Carroll would want to, because they're starting the ball with some really nice field position.
Beverly starting it at their own 44-yard line.
By the way, as I'm looking at the Panthers sideline right now, I do see Owen back out there, and he is standing. So I don't know if that's going to mean that he's going to go back into the game on defense, but that's at least a good sign.
Rhodes in motion. And they hand off to Malumba. Trying to get to the outside. He gets it past midfield. The first down. Cuts it up. And I believe he stepped out of bounds. Closer to the 40-yard line. That's where the referees are saying he stepped out. Great run from Malumba to get the first down on the first play of the second half. A gain of about 16.
And I don't know if that was by design or things just worked out, but it kind of looked weird right after the snap, as if everything slowed down. I don't know if something was off or the hesitation was on purpose, but
I think
it had a weird flow at first.
I think the end got the outside of the tackle of Beverly, and Malumba had to cut it back and try to get the corner. Luckily, with the wheels he has, he did it with ease. Rhodes in motion again, Malumba in the backfield. We'll see if he'll get it past the century mark on that last run. He does. He's touched at the line of scrimmage, bottled up for no gain.
Yeah, they completely broke through the O-line on that one.
Malumba with the carry on first
So
down.
Malumba unofficially with 109 rushing yards on the day. 1 touchdown on the ground, 1 special teams touchdown.
He'll check out right now.
Going to be 2nd and 10.
I think that extra week of rest did wonders, because I'll tell you, he doesn't look the least bit hurt right now.
I formation. It's Loretti in the backfield. We might see him get his first touch in the game. Rhodes in motion. Loretti gets the handoff, tries to cut it up right. He's stopped at the line of scrimmage. So good job after that first down run by Malumba by this Bulldog defense to hold Beverly to no gain on 2 rush attempts.
So we talked about staying on schedule, by the way, to start out this game. And they did a decent job of that on offense in the first half, but right now they find themselves in a 3rd and long.
Three wide to the left, Malumba to the left of Morency in the shotgun. Moreland at the bottom of your screen. It's going to be a keeper by Morency. Trying to get some blockers. He loses a cleat. Gets sent out of bounds. He's going to be fairly close to the first down, but I think he's going to be short.
And we'll see if they spot it. I thought they ran him out just short a bit, too.
Looks like he's going to be 2 yards short, about an 8-yard gain by Morency.
Yep. Where the ball is, though, I mean, we all know they're going to go for this.
Going to bring up a 4th and 2 for Beverly.
Fourth and 2, whole playbook kind of open here. You could just give it to Malumba. You could do something else. You could, even if you think they're really pinned up, ready for a run, you could even throw a screen to Duncan, potentially, but they're going to give it to Malumba.
Formation, Malumba up the middle, first down and more, carrying a couple defenders inside the 20-yard line of the Bulldogs.
For another Beverly first down.
It's going to be about a 13-yard gain.
On those short plays, you get not just the D linemen pitting down, trying to get inside. You get the linebackers sometimes even just picking gaps to run through. And if they don't get the push right away, that means you don't just get 2 yards. You get up to the secondary, you can get 8, 9, 10, sometimes completely pop one. And I think that's just what they saw right there. Linebackers just kind of picked their gaps. They picked wrong.
Good lead block on that play as well. Malumba gets another carry. He'll push forward to about the 15 with forward progress.
So this is the 2nd time for the Panthers in the English red zone. You remember what happened on the first one. They had points left on the board after the play action interception.
Malumba already in this half. It's going to be 2nd and 7. Malumba already with 32 yards on 3 carries. I formation again. Moreland on the outside, Rhodes in the slot. Morency falls on the fumbled snap. He's calling for a late hit or a flag as O'Fury was in on the tackle.
Yeah, he took a shot.
I think that was all fair right there. Ball was still live.
Yeah.
So Beverly loses it down in a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 8.
And that was a bit of an issue for them against Winthrop. They were able to avoid that kind of stuff in the first half, but have their first little miscue right there.
Beverly might be planning to get these 8 yards on 2 plays with 2 runs with Malumba. It's usually a good bet. 2 receivers outright, I formation. Hand off to Malumba. He makes someone miss, cuts it out. He'll get the first down. It looks like Beverly 1st and goal off of another Marge Malumba carry.
I mean, this is crazy. I mean, if you're the Bulldogs, you kind of have to know this is coming, and they cannot stop it. I mean, Beverly consistently winning at the line of scrimmage. And Malumba consistently making the right reads, the right cuts, picking the right gaps. And it's hard to bring him down with 1 man, too.
Malumba with a 10-yard run there. Beverly 1st and goal on the 8. Moreland outside, Rhodes in the slot, high formation, Malumba the back. He takes it again, tripped up at the line of scrimmage. He'll gain maybe 1.5 yards, maybe 2. It's like a 2-yard gain for Malumba.
Merge Malumba on the carry.
Yep, 643.
At some point, you have to think with all the attention and all the carries Malumba's getting, they're going to use that as some sort of decoy. And I don't mean just in the passing game. I mean, you could swing around Jones on a sweep on the outside after a fake to Malumba. You could do something like that. Something to look into. Maybe not even on this drive, but maybe coming up.
And just as you said that, Jones enters the game for Easton. We're going to get a timeout. So Beverly with 6:12. I'm reading that right.
Yep.
Left in the 3rd quarter. Had the ball for the entirety of the second half, almost up to 6 minutes of their possession time in this quarter. It's 2nd and goal on the 6.
Yeah, so far, it's been just about the perfect way to answer how the first half ended, with Lynn English getting those points. And as you said, Beverly might have been up, but you kind of felt like the momentum was on the Bulldog side a little bit. But now you get the ball, and you pound it away. You play plenty of clock off that, and you get it deep in Bulldogs territory.
Yeah, Malumba with 44 yards on 5 carries in this drive alone in this second half, added to the 93 he had in the first half. Take this moment to thank our viewers on YouTube that are watching, streaming this live for you. Also the viewers on BevCam at channel 22. Hi, Mom. How you doing? Good. Doing good. 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line. Beverly looking to go up 2 scores. They've put together a nice drive led by Marge Malumba. Split back, 3 receivers. The fade to Moreland, can't come up with it. He did a great job just by not having that ball be intercepted. He was, the defensive back was so in position for that, and he just stood there. Moreland had to play D-back himself to try to get into position.
I was thinking that too. Luckily, he is a D-back.
Yeah.
But showing some of those defensive skills on the offensive side. I don't know if the throw was just off where it was supposed to be, or it just looked like right off the play, the DB just had the leverage to start with. And a little bit of a combination of both.
Split back again, Rhodes in motion. Marge with another carry, going left, trying to get the corner, punches it in, another touchdown, Marge Malumba.
Well, it wasn't anyone else, it was Malumba, but you saw pound him up the middle, pound him up the middle, pound him up the middle, and then they go off tackle, and he's able to gain the edge.
6 carries, 50 yards, and a touchdown on that drive for Marge Malumba.
6-minute drive too, right?
Take some time off the clock, go up another touchdown. Malumba adding to his total. He's got 143 unofficially with 3 touchdowns off the ground and that 80-yard touchdown off the punt return. Loretti looking to go a perfect 6 for 6 on PATs on the season. Already gets that one to go. 21-7 Panther lead, 6 minutes, 2 seconds left in the third quarter.
Well, already improved to 6 for 6 so far on the season. And what an answer. That is one heck of an answer for the Panthers. You think about everything that happened in the game last year. And you think about how the Bulldogs, after not doing much on offense, were able to get a touchdown pretty much to close out the first half. And you come out right away, put up a 6-minute drive that ends with you punching it in. And that is a huge answer for the Beverly Panthers.
You wonder if Lynn English is going to come out trying to throw more. They were attacking Burgess. So we'll see if they do down 2 scores or trust the ground and pound thunder and lightning of Fowler and O'Fury.
It's a thunder lightning combination that has been stifled, though, so far by this Beverly defense.
And if, in fact, Mike Burgess is still in at cornerback, he held his own on a couple plays, but he was beat at the end of that at the end of that first half for that touchdown. So we'll see if he's going to be back in at defensive back or if it's Keevy that's in back health.
Yeah, and anyone watching, in case Burgess is there, you want to see the matchup.
Keevy is on.
Oh, yeah, Owen's back out there.
Kick from Loretti. Couldn't be handled, and it luckily goes into the end zone. It was untouched. It's going to be a touchback.
Announce the 50-50 again.
That rolled into the end zone, untouched by
red ticket, number 534.
The returning team.
4840. Again, red ticket, 534. 4840.
So Lynn English down 2 scores after that 6-minute long touchdown drive led by Marge Malumba.
And so far, to a T, the Panthers have made sure that they have kept everything for the most part in front of them and made that sure that the Bulldogs have to earn it with these long drives. And the Bulldogs have shot themselves in the foot quite a bit with penalties, false starts, holdings. You remember, as I said earlier, they left points on the board after a block in the back penalty on it would have been a touchdown throw.
Starting at their own 20, a carry from Fowler to the left. Gain of maybe 4. Looks like it'll be a gain of, 4, all the way up to the 24.
Fowler on the carry, tackled by Mike Rhodes.
Lynn English coming out with another quick play. And Burgess is in at defensive back on the other side of the field.
Good job, Duncan.
Moreland was in on that tackle. He chased him down. Fowler, that is, after a gain of a couple.
Moreland with the tackle for the Panthers.
Continuing to use Fowler just out of the shotgun on that quarterback design, just see if he can get the edge. But the Panthers have done a really nice job of containing and not giving it up.
Fowler only 50 yards unofficially on the ground after 190 a week ago.
Double tight, double wing. QB sneak.
They're in tight. Little toss to O'Fury trying to get ahead of steam. He'll get the first down, a gain of 2.5, 3.
Yeah, dude, we're defending every blade of grass. We're all right.
It looks like O'Fury is down. Trainer's going to have to come out from the other side. That's not going to be good for Lynn English's hopes, as he has been leading them in rushing, 56 yards unofficially on the ground.
Yeah, that's not a cramp.
It's on 9 carries.
Be interesting to see how Carroll deals with that. I mean,
we saw him out for a few plays earlier in the first half. Towards the end, we noticed that it was Jesse O'Fury in at the back spot.
Yeah. And Timmons had to know at 5 carries against Swampscott. And I believe he only has 1 carry today, but I think that he's going to get a few more touches right now.
Beverly's done a great job this quarter. This is Lynn English's first possession, and done a great job of limiting their chances. They had some long drives in that first half. Beverly didn't break, but they forced a couple 3-and-outs. They've had long drives themselves, and the best way to beat a good offense is to keep your offense on the field.
Yeah.
Keep the opposing team's offense from hurting you by keeping them on the sideline, and it's always great when you do it while you're putting points on the board.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about a game from Malumba to come back for. This would be the one you'd want him back for, like I said.
Doesn't look like O'Furry can put any weight on that right leg.
Oh.
And I wouldn't expect him to come back into this game.
No.
Thoughts and prayers out to him. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. That definitely is a big blow. This Lynn English Bulldogs team, who has been relying on O'Furry, leading their team in yardage, 56 on the ground on 9 carries. So we will see who will step up. It will have to be Fowler keeping more of these runs, or if somebody's going to come in and make some plays. You see Phoenix Figueroa Marquez in there as well.
And it allows you, I mean, not that they haven't already keyed a little bit on Fowler on these read options and stuff like that, but you have to think it allows you to key on him even a little bit more.
We saw Phoenix Figueroa Marquez come in for O'Furry there. He's a similar size. A bigger back, definitely.
Yeah, you're right. There's not much of a size difference between the two.
1st and 10.
Beverly showing pressure.
Fowler keeping it running left. He gets the corner, runs out of bounds after about a 3-yard gain, maybe 4.
It's a good thing they pressured the right side, too. The side that Fowler was intended to run on.
Going to be 4-yard run for Fowler.
Fowler with the keeper.
He's got 3 carries on this possession. 4 yards apiece. It's going to be a give. He finds some space, gets taken down around midfield.
Malumba with the tackle.
That's going to be, I believe, number 22, Josh Transtammer. That was his first carry for a big one.
With the carry for English, tackled by Merv Malumba.
It was a gain of about 15. Now all of a sudden, after O'Furry goes down, Transtamar, who has some speed, as we just saw on that play, comes in as a big 1st down run. Fowler looking deep left, attacking Burgess again. Great defense there. O'Furry couldn't get a hand on it. Now Burgess didn't turn his helmet, but he did not interfere with O'Furry making that catch right there.
Now that's consistent, by the way, to see Burgess on Jesse O'Furry.
O'Furry broken up by Mike Burgess.
He's been targeted 4 times now. He led up that touchdown at the end of that first half, but I think you're right. I think Fowler, instead of going towards Purder, who's clearly their best weapon on the offensive side, besides Fowler trying to get him the ball, they're attacking Burgess, going to O'Furry instead of trying to get it to Purder.
I have seen a few times that they have rolled coverage over to Purder, though. A couple of times they've sent Duncan over there to help Jones. So Fowler needs to find a different target.
4 wide, Transtamar to the right of Fowler. Fowler, that was his first pass attempt in this half. 3 for 9 through the air. He's going to try to go again. Batted down again by who else? Billy Adams.
Pass is broken up by Billy Adams.
Current.
That's Billy's 2nd pass deflected today.
With a short quarterback like Fowler, and if you're as tall as Billy Adams, definitely getting those arms up.
And Fowler took a shot right there.
It's going to be 3rd down from the 50.
And he's trying to act like it doesn't hurt, but it hurts. You can see it.
They're wide receiver 6.
Well, lucky for Fowler, it's a little warmer today. It's not.
Yeah, that one.
It's not the weather where if it's cold, it hurts a little bit more. 4 wide again. Beverly trying to get off the field here in this 3rd down. Lynn English.
Beverly brought pressure last time. Let's see if they do it again or if they're content to stay back. They'll stay back.
Fowler rolling right, quick throw. 1st down, it's caught past the 40-yard line. Tackle made by Mike Rhodes on the outside, but not before the catch was made by DJ Brathwaite.
And they've done that on a lot of the pass attempts. I expect to continue that, intentionally rolling Fowler out on these pass plays you talked about. Sometimes also a shorter quarterback. We've already seen Billy get his hands up there and bat down a couple of balls. The way to counteract that is use his athleticism and get him moving. Pressure again.
It's going to be given to Transtamar. He gets upfield, and another first down. And Lynn English is driving.
That was a really good tackle by Duncan right there, though. I thought he was going to get free. It looked like Duncan had lost him, but he kept his hand on that shirt and was able to just throw him down. But that's the second time the Panthers have brought pressure and was answered by a draw play to Transtamar, both times working for nice gains.
Yeah, Transtamar 2 carries for 27 yards so far this drive. Fowler brought down after a minimal gain. O'Fury was in the backfield. That's Jesse O'Fury on that play. 2-yard gain there for Fowler.
2-yard carry makes it 2nd down and 8.
See 4 wide, O'Fury.
Yep.
To the right of Fowler, rolling right. Maybe a design pass. It was intended for number 10, Shea Palmer.
First time really that we've called his name today.
Now, a lot of these passes are coming out so quick, you wonder if Fowler just has one read and if he sees a lane run.
Pass was defended by Jordan Irvine.
Maybe, but I did see Pewter, it looked like, had a route just above that. And I saw Stanton get in position and then the safety come over. So maybe it was one read, or maybe that was the second option after he saw that Pewter was well covered. But it would make sense with an athletic quarterback like this to only give him one read and then just say make something happen.
It's going to be a triple option, giving it towards to Transtamar. It's the first time he hadn't gotten a first down on a carry.
Boy, I tell you, consistently Beverly is winning the battle up front. Really the only times that those runs worked was when they were applying pressure. It looked like maybe they were expecting a pass, and then they've given Transtamar the ball on these draws. But these simple little dives, options, all this kind of stuff, Beverly's consistently winning at the line.
This quarter has gone rather quick as well.
Yes, it
4th
has.
down right now. It's only 1:30 left in this third quarter. Beverly with a 6-minute possession. Lynn English with an almost 6-minute possession of their own, coming up on 5 now. Big 4th down for Lynn English, as they need to score here. Low snap, Fowler looking left.
Overthrew
Too
him.
far, and we're going to get a flag. I'm not sure what for, but wasn't quite in the secondary.
Is it a late hit?
Pressure applied by
Might be an ineligible man downfield.
Oh.
And it was.
Yep.
Penalty will be declined. Beverly will take over on down.
Penalty is declined, and the Panthers take over on downs.
A huge stand by the Panther defense again.
So Beverly will take over with 1:06 left in the third on their own 23.
It's been a steady diet of running the ball with Malumba. The clock is your friend right now, so you expect that trend to continue.
First and 10 from their own 23. I formation. Moreland in motion. Malumba the back. He'll get the carry up the middle, gobbled up. Gain of maybe 2 if he got out to the 25-yard line.
Down under a minute now.
Beverly, although allowing Lynn English with 5 minutes with the ball, do not allow any points. Defense came up when it had to. Malumba up the middle, makes a couple people miss, trying to get it outside. Can't get there after a gain of about 4.
Hurd went under with the carry.
It's a perfect example, though, as you talked about, of what we've talked about. You know, 5-minute drive, give up plenty of yards, but bend but don't break. Keep everything in front of you. And once again, able to keep them off the scoreboard.
5-yard gain there by Malumba, and that's the end of the third quarter. Beverly leading 21-7. When they switch sides of the field, it's going to be 3rd and 3 from Beverly's 30-yard line.
It was a quarter of just long drives for both teams. The difference is one ended with 7, the other ended with nothing.
Yeah. It was all Malumba so far in this game. All 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 on special teams. You've seen Morency handle pressure well. When he's been pressured, not panicking. We saw he found Moreland for that deep strike early on in the game, and then what seemed to be just an innocent little pass off to the outside of Joseph Kutwicki. Also in that first half, it ended up as a pretty good gain and led Beverly down the field. So Morency has held his own in the pocket.
Who's that kill back? All right. Should have reminded him where the stakes are. We don't need a home run, we need a first down. Well, they're going to come flying up if we can get that big first down.
All right, so a 3rd and short here to start the 4th quarter. Clock definitely your friend right now when you're up 2 scores. So let's keep the ball. Expect to see them keep the ball on the ground, trying to keep this clock moving.
Malumba trying to get the outside. He can't get it, cuts it back. He flips it over to Morency, who picks it up. And he looked like he could have slipped and hurt himself there. Thankfully, he does not. That was, I'm not sure if Malumba did that intentionally to try to get that first down, but either way, it's going to be 4th. That could have ended up badly.
Yep. The Panthers avoid disaster right there.
Malumba seems to be limping as well as he comes off the field. He's been huge for them. 57 yards in that 3rd quarter alone, 140 yards on the ground total.
With the way he's limping, maybe the injury took a shot of pain. Maybe that's why he gave up the football.
Beverly to punt on 4th down. Grant Easton for the Panthers.
Grant Easton will be punting for the Panthers. Lynn English should be getting good field position here. So a 3 and out from Beverly. Easton punting. He's going to roll past the 50, takes a Beverly bounce down to the 45 of Lynn English. 4th quarter, 10:53 left. Beverly up 2 scores, 21-7. And Lynn English in good field position after the 3 and out from the Panthers. And we'll see if Malumba ends up coming back. I see him not out there on defense right now. It'll be interesting to see now with 2 replacements. And excuse me, no, Kiwi is in again for the Panthers. But Malumba not on the field on defense right now. We'll see if he comes back in on offense.
Bulldogs got themselves a much-needed stop and the ball back at pretty much the very start of the 4th quarter, which is what they needed because they need 2 scores. They're going to have to find a way to get the offense in sync. It's been tough sledding for them all day. Beverly showing pressure.
Fowler rolls right. Looked like he was going to throw for a little bit. He tries a deep one. Incomplete.
He had him.
I believe that was Chandler West who couldn't make that grab. You saw, I believe, it was Jay Sean Stanton Jones coming over to try to make that play.
Now, on that design, when you roll it out, obviously the throw's going to come a little bit late, but I'll tell you, Wes was open a little bit earlier, but when the throw came, how long it was, how much air was on it, allowed Stanton Jones to get over there and contest it and make a big play. Because that was the kind of shot the Bulldogs needed.
4 wide, 3 to the right. Transtamar in the backfield with Fowler. He'll give it to him. Up it's a first down even more. Transtamar has come into this game in the absence of O'Fury and made a good change of pace.
Mentor with the run, tackled by Merge Malumba.
And by the way, now Burgess has limped off, so the Panthers getting shorter and shorter actually in that secondary.
Fowler going to keep it. He's going to go right. Chasing him is Chris Curran. Brings him down with authority. Another sack for Curran.
And Fowler's hurt.
He came around the outside. He knew he was gunning for him.
Chris Curran with the sack for the Panthers.
I'll tell you, Curran is a beast up there for this Panther defense.
He saw that Fowler, when he was rolling out, didn't have too much urgency. If he put his pedal to the ground, he could get there, force a tackle for a loss, and Fowler is on the ground now. So now without O'Fury, we'll see if Fowler re-enters this game. Not sure who the second quarterback on their depth chart would be.
Well, from what I'm seeing right now, the guy on the sideline throwing, it's hard to see from well over here, but it looks like number 12.
Jesse Maggs.
So that would be Jesse Maggs, yeah.
It looks like Fowler is not going to be back in this game, at least not right now. With under 10 minutes left to go, backup quarterback and backup running back, Lynn English will try to overcome a 2-score deficit. Maggs sacked on his first play. And in on the sack will be Jordan Irvine.
Jordan Irvine with the sack for the Panthers.
So after 2 consecutive sacks, Lynn English facing a third.
Loss of 5, 3rd and 19. We have the back-to-back sacks for the Panthers.
Still the backup under center.
Transtamar with the carry up to the 40-yard line. Back to near the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th and 12.
By Jared Mitchell. It's going to set up a 4th and 12 for Lynn English.
Right, so now the backup sophomore, Jesse Maggs, facing a huge 4th down.
Going to be looking right. Throws deep. Incomplete intended.
Duncan Moore on the pass defense, and the Panthers will take over on down.
I believe that was intended. Don't believe it was Purder. Can't quite get the number on that. It looks like DJ Brathwaite.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a turnover on downs. Beverly with 8:22 left regains possession on their own 40-yard line, looking to put this one away.
Yep. He got Brathwaite one-on-one against the free safety, Duncan Moreland. It looked like it might have been there just a little bit, but he overthrew him. Was a tight window, though.
And we're going to get a flag. Might be 12 men. After regaining possession on a turnover on downs, quick penalty by the Panthers. It'll be 1st and 15 from the 35.
What do we got?
Beverly doesn't need a score to put this one away. They definitely need a drive of a few minutes to try to get it deep enough into Lynn English territory. But you know, a touchdown would never hurt.
Certainly wouldn't complain, I'm sure. Couldn't quite see who it was who got that carry. I know Malumba was in the game.
It was Loretti with another carry. 3-yard gain for him. Malumba is back there, so whatever was hurting him can't be hurting him too much.
No. Let's see how willing they are to give him the ball, or maybe if they're going to use him as a decoy. Yeah, they
jet
did.
Sweep for Jones. Past midfield, trying to cut it up. He stayed in. He'll step out close to the 30, I believe.
Well,
and you called it there, Dom.
Yeah. I've said it a couple of times today. I knew it had to happen eventually. You knew it was coming. It's been such a steady diet of Malumba, and it's been so successful that Jay-Sean hasn't gotten the ball much, and it's very easy to forget about him. And Malumba back there, maybe a little banged up. They don't really want to give him the ball, but you can still use him. And they did right there. They give Jay-Sean the ball.
It's a
on the jet sweep.
35-yard gain for him on that.
But he's still out there now, so let's see if they give him the ball now.
34-yard carry for Jay-Sean Jones.
And it looks
That's
like
going to be a false start. Yep.
From the left tackle there.
But boy, I like that design by Andrew right there, especially in this situation where they know that you're running, to be able to add a little wrinkle right there to keep them on their toes.
Just under 7.5 left in the fourth. Another give to Malumba. Cuts it in, makes a couple people miss.
Merge Malumba with the carry.
I believe we're going to get a timeout for an official timeout. Malumba with a 9-yard gain there. Now unofficially has 159 yards on the ground and 2 scores. I believe it's an official timeout for possible injury in the Beverly sideline. Can't really see over there.
No, I can't.
That's where Malumba went down, and he is not in the huddle, and I don't see him standing. Speculated was that injury again aggravated. Nobody's hurt over there, getting word now. See a player on the ground, so we'll see.
Going to be 2nd down and 6 for Beverly.
Beverly facing a 2nd and 6. Ready. He'll get another carry and cut it up. Makes a couple people miss inside the 10. He'll get brought down. Nice run there by Loretti. He's had a few carries and he's done okay with his work so far.
Yard run for Loretti brings up 1st and goal from the 8.
Yeah, at this point right now, deep in Lynn English territory, 2 scores up. I don't expect really to see Malumba again anyway. I mean, it's going to be a steady diet, Loretti, Stanton.
And we're going to get a whistle. Roll the plate, that's going to be a false start. It's Beverly 1st and goal on the 13 now. 2nd false start this drive for the Panthers. Clock running down, 5:50 and counting. Rhodes in motion. Jones with the carry up the middle. He'll push forward. He'll get stopped at around the 10-yard line.
Jones, the ball carrier.
Gain of 3 for Jones.
Loretti's going to check back in.
3-yard carry. He's going to make it 2nd and goal from the 10.
Just going to go a little back and forth between the two, Loretti and Stanton.
Clock still winding down, closer to 5 minutes now. 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line. I formation, 2 receivers to the left. See Morenzi taking his time at the line. He's going to play action, roll right. He's going to try to run. Past the line of scrimmage, he gains about 5, maybe 6. Close to the 5-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and goal from, I believe, the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
Looks like from this angle.
You know, it's play action, but in a situation like that, I wonder how much throwing was actually really an option for Danny on that play.
He was looking downfield. He had a couple guys crossing over, but that looked like
he had it tucked away, though.
That looked like it was the same play from that interception down in the red zone.
But you can tell sometimes when a quarterback is running if they're intended to throw it. He didn't have the ball out like this. He had it tucked under the arm. I don't know. If he was wide open, he probably would have thrown it, but.
I formation again, Loretti. Looked like a misdirection play, but he loses 5 yards.
Loretti, the ball carrier. It's going to set up a 4th and goal.
So it's going to be 4th and goal from the 10. I think we're going to see the field goal unit. First thing, you need a timeout from Lynn English. 4:32 left to go in the 4th. Field goal unit is out. Loretti, 6 for 6 this year on PATs. We saw his last one get deflected to the line of scrimmage. It still went through and was good. This one is going to be from about 27 yards out if they were to attempt it. I wouldn't rule out a fake. But if this is converted, it effectively makes it a 3-possession game, this field goal.
Yeah, this kick is to ice the game away. Pretty improbable for a comeback at 4:32 left on the clock, even with the score the way it is, but 3 scores down, it's not going to happen.
Loretti's going to line up from the right hash mark.
Loretti on to attempt for the field goal.
27-yarder. Holding is Anthony Vasquarosa. And it seemed to be tipped again, and this one is no good.
Nope.
Wasn't sure if Berger got a finger on that as well.
I think he did coming off the edge.
So Loretti misses that field goal. Possession goes to Lynn English now. 4:26 left to go. Not sure if Fowler will be back in the game. Not sure if O'Fury will be back in the game.
What I do know is we're going to see a lot of deep shots right now. Especially pinned back this deep. It's going to be a lot of throwing it up and just hoping that your guys can make plays.
It's going to be a handoff. Wrapped up by Malumba. He's back in on defense. So gain of 5 yards from Transtamar.
Pass is complete to O'Fury, tackled by Merge Malumba.
Jesse Mack still in there at quarterback for English. 5 wide. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Rolling right is Mags. Quick throw, one decision, almost picked off the hands of Jay-Sean Stanton-Jones, who's done good today on the outside, defending these receivers, as well as that huge 34-yard carry in the previous possession of Beverly.
Yeah, he's done a tremendous job, and I mean a lot of this game he's been lined up on Pewter. And the fact that we haven't had to call Taj's name very much today tells you the job that Stanton-Jones has done with him.
3:50, clock is stopped. 2nd and 6 on the 25 for Lynn English. You know they're in 4-down territory for the rest of this game. Transtander, who's had success since entering this game. Very quick bursts of speed. He's going to get it again up the middle, trying to spin off a defender. He'll gain a couple. It's going to be 4th and 1. Clock still rolling.
Oliver Pavia with the tackle for Beverly.
English has any chance of completing this comeback. They need a first down here. It's going to be a keeper by Mags, trying to go around the outside. He will be close, but I'm not sure if he got it.
I don't think he got it.
Progress might award it to him, and it looks like the refs are going to give him a generous spot here where they're standing. It's going to be a first down with forward progress.
Wow, I didn't think there was any way that he actually had picked it up.
Billy Adams in the tackle.
Heard Billy Adams' name a lot. Tackles, 2 passes, batted down at the line of scrimmage. A taller quarterback in Mags in there now. Play action. Makes a couple people miss. Ball was in the air for a little bit too long for his liking. Breaking that play up again was just Jay-Sean Stanton-Jones. And Mags did a good job of avoiding pressure twice in that possession. It's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 30, 3 minutes even left on the game clock. Beverly still leading this one 21-7. Only 1 touchdown scored in this second half. Beverly led at the half 14-7. They scored in the first possession of this half, and we have not seen any points since. Beverly thus far, only 1 touchdown allowed in each of their first 2 regular season games after allowing no touchdowns in the preseason. It's going to be 3rd and short for Lynn English.
I'll tell you, preseason's different, and if you tell Andrew he was only going to give up 1 touchdown in both games, I think he'd take that. Especially in this one, this has been an outstanding job by their defense.
Mags looks right, incomplete pass. Morency looking to the far sideline. For some reason there is a flag down. It looks like it might be either pass interference or a late hit maybe. It's got to be pass interference. Morency trying to argue his uncatchable is over his head, but.
Yeah, I was going to say it has to be pass interference by this motion that the coach is doing down there, being that ball was over his head.
All right, hey, gonna play D now.
It's going to be 1st and 10.
Yep. And, you know, in order to get it out here, they've eaten a lot of clock, so they're going to have to take big shots. There it is right there. He's got him, though.
Wonder if he was out of bounds when he made the catch. No, you're going to say it's complete. And that was Purder on a dime down to the far sideline.
There's a little bit of life still for Lynn English here.
After that pass interference penalty, give him a first down.
Since Max has come in on passing plays, consistently just looking for Taj Purder.
It's going to be a give this time to Jesse O'Fury. He's going to be bottled up for a minimal gain.
Figueroa Marquez with the carry.
And you saw 2 Beverly defenders on Purder on the outside on that play, but he was able at the last few seconds get behind that defense.
It was a real nice throw by Max, too. He put it where it needed to be. But now, under 2 minutes to go, that might be the last run you see today.
Yeah, Max has been putting pressure on these D-backs since he's come in. Strike on a slant, dropped by O'Fury. That was the same play I believe they scored on that at the end of that first half.
Yep.
It was Burgess on him as well, that slant towards the middle.
That time, Duncan did come over and try to cut in front. I don't know if he actually got a hand at it. I don't think he did. I think it ended up just being dropped by the wide receiver.
Minute 49 left to go. English driving, trying to manage a comeback here. Down 2 scores. 3rd and 8. Just outside or just inside the Beverly red zone. Low snap, Mags looking left, under pressure. Tries to avoid it, but he's gonna be taken down by 4 Beverly defenders. In on that one was Adams.
And we've seen Mags escape a few times, but he was not escaping that time.
Mike Rhodes was in on that one as well. I think Grant Easton as well. Chris Curran also as well. There was 4 Beverly defenders gathering in on that one. And as
I was gonna say, eventually you can just pretty much say almost the entire D-line.
And as we get a timeout here, we're gonna show you the road ahead for the Panthers as they lead this one 21-7 with a minute and a half left to go in the 4th. Beverly's gonna host Swampscott on the 28th of September. That'll be here at Hurd Stadium. Then they'll go on at Marblehead on October the 4th before the following week they play at Gloucester on October the 11th. We all know that Lynn English, this team just beat Swampscott. So yeah, if you like sports math, I don't, but if you like sports math, you think that'd be a game Beverly has a good chance in. Marblehead will be tough. At Marblehead,
yeah,
always have a potent offense. That team's good every single year. In Gloucester, you can't sleep on them. Team that Beverly lost to a year ago here at Hurd Stadium.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, with all the points that they were able to put up on Swampscott, you have got to feel very good about yourself going into that game and going into almost just about any games, even if you're facing a high-powered offense. I mean, they ran rabbit on the Swampscott defense, who win that game 33-30 and given up 3 special team touchdowns and still able to win the game. And they have been held in check all day long by the Panther defense.
4th down for English.
4th down.
That was a false start. Yep.
Oh, he's got it on us.
That's going to be on Rhodes. They're going to get him for encroachment.
Oh.
But it looked like the left tackle, 72, is the one that jumped. So a shorter 4th down conversion for Lynn English here. Looks like the refs are discussing if it was a false start or encroachment.
Yeah. I thought 72 had moved.
No, they're talking about it. They're talking about it.
One referee pointing at 72, one referee pointing the other way. They're going to go with the encroachment.
Yep. So it's going to make it about a 4th and 6, I believe, isn't it?
It'll be shorter than that. 4th and a long 4. Or 4th and a short 4. Need a 1st down here, does Lynn English. But this will open up the playbook a little bit more. They're going to be tight. Wing formation. Purder is going to get this toss, try to jam it up the middle. Looks like they got the 1st down. He didn't think Purder would be somebody to take that toss and run up the middle.
I was just thinking that too. Shorter situation.
Wind the clock.
Pewter, not really the guy that I would have thought would have got that ball. You're right. Got a couple of big backs. I thought one of them would get it. That's not going anywhere.
Again. So Lynn English trying to run the same play again on 1st and goal. Minute 13 and counting. They're going to try it again. Second and goal from the 6.
You got to believe this is not another run, is it? Yeah, it is.
Couple yards gained there by DJ Brathwaite, his first carry. He's had a couple targets in this game too, I believe a catch or two. It's going to be 3rd and goal.
Boy, I know that you want to just worry about getting the score, but I'm really surprised that you would go back to the run game again there. I mean, we're under a minute now. Are you aiming to just make it look prettier, or are you aiming to come back? I was super surprised. I thought they'd throw the ball.
Beverly trying to make a stop here at their goal line. English trying to come within 1 score. While we have some time, let's take a look at the standings in the NEC.
There
the NEC North, Marblehead at 2-0. Danvers also up there at 2-0. You see Beverly with a win would match that. Peabody at 1-1, Swampscott at 1-1, and Gloucester the only team without a win in the NEC North. And as for the NEC South, where Lynn English lives, see they're 1-0. They could be 1-1 after today. Revere, you see them start there in the NEC again for this year and the next year before they go back to the GBL. But Winthrop at 1-1, Beverly handing them their loss. Lynn Classical at 1-2, and Salem and Saugus without wins there in the NEC South. So this is big for the Panthers to remain atop the division with Marblehead and Danvers. Going to be a give, and the ball is on the ground, and I believe Beverly has it.
Yep.
And that's all she wrote.
The Panthers close this game out in style right there with a turnover.
So Beverly is going to win this one by a score of 21-7. Now, you said it. Why are they running the ball there at that time? Why were they running that same play from the same formation, that wing formation?
I don't understand it. It's very, very odd.
Mags had showed that he has a strong enough arm. He could have threaded the needle on one of them. You saw he had a nice pass a few plays prior to O'Fury on the left side on that same slant that they ran in the first half that he just dropped. That could have been a touchdown.
Yeah. Odd. It was odd play calling, and it's not like you've pushed the Beverly front around today at all. I mean, you've had troubles running the football. Beverly, for the most part, has kind of dominated the line of scrimmage. It was very odd.
So final score here as Beverly will kneel on the football, 21-7. That's 2 straight weeks. Beverly only allowing 1 touchdown to their opponent. They led in the at the end of the first half, 14-7. It was Marge Malumba who had that big touchdown on the ground. It was Marge Malumba who had that big touchdown on the punt return. And then you saw the defense break a little bit there at the end of the first half, but they came away with that. Malumba again on the first drive in the second half, a touchdown. He had over 150 yards on the ground in this one. All 3 touchdowns for the Panthers. He has to be your player of the game. But give credit to that defense. They held Fowler. They held O'Fury in that first half. They held this Lynn English offense, a very potent one at that, scoreless in the second half. This defense made up for what happened on this field a year ago.
Yeah, absolutely. They snapped the 2-game losing streak against Lynn English. And I got to tell you, as you talked about last year, how that second half went so wrong for Beverly, a little bit you can say the reverse, and it was quite an answer right out the gate. You felt like Beverly was thinking that, and they were motivated to make sure it didn't happen again. They came right out, got the ball, continued to just pound the ball with Malumba, controlled the line of scrimmage, 6-minute drive, and ended it with punching it in for a touchdown. That was the statement, and that ended up being the last score and pretty much the difference in the game.
After that game last year, Coach Morency said, we've got some work to do back there. When speaking of his defense, he said there's a lot of potential there, but work to do for sure. And the defense this year put in the work, and the potential that he was talking about from the defense a year ago really stepped up today and came to fruition.
It's really showing itself these last 2 games. I mean, not only, the thing I think about, even going back to last game 2 against Winthrop, not only did they only allow a touchdown to Winthrop, they had plenty of times on fumbles where they had given Winthrop really good field position, and it was just an amazing job by the defense. And then they go into this game against a completely different caliber offense, completely different look, and shut them down again.
If you're Beverly, there are some things to work on after this game, even though you did win. The turnover in the red zone, not something you want, absolutely not. The linebackers, the defensive line played absolutely phenomenal, in my opinion. The defensive backs played well at times. There were some hiccups, but when you have a backup in there and when they were targeting Burgess the way they did, sometimes those things are going to happen, but I would like to see them clean it up in the back end. But all in all, a great win for the Panthers. They win 21-7. They will host Swampscott next weekend. I believe we'll be here.
Yes.
For that game as
We
well.
will.
So we'll both be doing that. So for Dom Lorenzano, for Robert Dokes, Mark Lehman, and all the help we had, I'm Alex Saluco. Thank you for watching BevCam on Channel 22.
Good night, everyone.